more jazz. But I pressed the button, and we're here.
Sneaky.
For episode number 11.
Episode number 11, where we talk about stuff and things and other things that aren't good. Bad things.
Good. Are they good or are they bad? Good things to talk about, bad things happening.
Yes.
There you go. Nailed it.
Yeah.
You with the words today. It's a victory.
Well, I guess, what direction are we trying to go in?
Well,
right
we got some stuff and things on some very famous people who are doing some weird stuff. Mm-hmm. And I can't really help it. I ended up collecting a lot of information on Chrissy Tiegen.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, she's just weird.
Yeah.
What kind of normal person says the things she says?
Right. Was it mostly like stuff that was connected to like her Twitter profile, the stuff she was posting on Twitter?
Yeah. And there's another video of her and her husband talking to some reporters, and they accidentally let it slip that they were having sex with the Obamas before Obama got elected.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of strange.
It's a little freaky.
I mean, I guess a lot of people would probably go for it in that time frame. It was a pretty popular dude anyways, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of strange.
I would be there for it,
Yeah.
I think. I would entertain the idea, at least, depending on his game.
Yeah.
I think I would probably pass. Strong pass.
Strong pass on the Obamas. That's a bold statement.
I don't know. Just not feeling it.
Not feeling the weird like ritual sacrifice vibes that might be coming out of that direction.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like the straight sex stuff.
Oh, okay. If that even like happens, I mean that's
true.
That's
we don't
boring
know.
for them.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you're right on that.
It was we have the video link, but it was a discussion about like the freakiest that they'd ever done, or something like that.
Oh,
or
the freakiest thing
weirdest place, or like
Yeah, they could have said like the back of a car at
They
a
were
concert
like,
or something. But
that Obama thing was pretty weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody was like, "Bitch, say what?
Yeah.
What? Why are you fucking the president?" I don't know.
Yeah, I can try and pull up the video. Was that?
That was the
video.
first one.
The first one.
Meant to be played.
It's like you knew where it was.
Magic.
I did know where it was.
Magic.
So this is John Legend and Chrissy Tiegen answer an embarrassing question.
And for whatever it's worth, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just pick it out, read it, and answer.
Public place, you did it. Is this the best or the worst? What do you do?
The best.
Okay, the best. Probably the Obama thing.
John, what's it? Oh God.
Oh God.
John,
What?
what is your wife talking about?
I don't know.
We heard
We're not-
Obama in there.
Chrissy, get back in. What happened?
We're not going to discuss
We're not
that.
going to discuss it?
We're not. We're not.
Oh my God. Secret Service. Come here, jump back in.
Hi.
Look at John. I don't.
Hi.
We're not talking about it. That's the truth.
That is an awesome answer.
Not the White House.
Not the-
It was
It was not at the White House.
It was 100% not the
Full-on
White
damage.
House.
He was not elected yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we're moving on.
I'm sorry. I'm in trouble now.
Oh, you're good.
Are Chrissy, you are in so much trouble now.
Jesus
like this
Christ.
is just like
So
the surface.
It could be like the normal thing. They're just talking about something that's out of context, just super weird. But I don't know. The whole situation is like, oh, this is not something you're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
got side-eyed real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's like, well, because like with the whole spectrum of the things that are coming out right now, with the whole Hollywood like elite people like doing real weird like child stuff, and then like to have them specifically talking about that, it just kind of like emphasizes more the connection that people in higher levels of society.
Right. Yeah, this is not
have.
just a celebrity thing. This is a celebrity government. Like
Right.
there's so many different levels of depth that this goes on now.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's crazy.
Weird. There's
Yeah.
lots of other Chrissy Teigen stuff.
yeah,
out
let's
there,
go
too.
into more Chrissy Teigen
Yeah,
tweets.
what did what's one that you are thinking about? You want to
I don't even
want to look
know.
at
Brain not working today.
because
But I mean, any one of them is pretty solid. Honestly, you can start closing them once we've seen them.
okay, yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I have this one up. So we have Chrissy Teigen and Oprah was friendly with John of God and Harvey Weinstein. What happened to them? What's happening to Tiegen now? Are they all just in on it? So explain this to me.
Well, John of God is this guy down here, and I mean, he was a cult leader.
With millions of followers, ran sex slave farm and sold babies to highest bidder. Oh.
This
Okay.
person just went around and connected all of these pieces back together to just be, I don't know, extra damning.
Do you know like what the source is for that title?
I don't.
I'm very curious.
This right
about
here?
it. Yeah.
The 77-year-old has been arrested in what prosecutors could say the worst serial
2019.
crime case in Brazil history. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm very curious about that.
I don't
So
know if
maybe
they
it's
have
something, yeah.
sources in the comments, maybe, but
Something to look into. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty damning headline right there.
yeah, for sure.
Just something to think through. And then, I mean,
Yeah,
a
there's
lot
a-
of Chrissy Teigen's tweets
Yeah,
are just
the-
kind of bizarre.
The water slide that goes through a Shark Tank, yeah, time to get my pedo on, is just
What?
completely out of this world. I didn't know about that one. I knew about, some of them, the toddlers and tiara quotes, but it's just so blatantly pedophilic that I don't understand why she'd even post it or how she didn't expect this to come back to bite her in
Right.
the ass later.
It almost seems like she's a little like she doesn't
Doesn't have a filter.
she doesn't have any filter, and so she's just saying all this stuff without realizing what she's saying and like how it would be perceived by normal people.
Well, I don't think the normal people are the people who are seeing it. I mean, as the usual, all of this stuff is coming from conspiracy people.
Yeah.
So normal people are just like, oh yeah, her talking about seeing little girls doing the splits half naked is just, she wants to put herself in jail. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's totally chill. You're so funny.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the conspiracy theorists are like, wait, what?
Like right here, I just saw a baby that looks like a porn star, like a trashy do anything porn star. Is this wrong to think?
That's wild. Well, we can't really forget that this has kind of been in our faces for a while. Like in 1975, Playboy had a 10-year-old Brooke Shields in it.
What?
And yeah, you didn't. Yeah.
What?
Brooke Shields has always had a lot of kind of connotations around her, especially with her role in Blue Lagoon. I think she was like 14 when she did that movie, which was pretty explicit.
I know none of these things.
Oh, well,
Wait, so
some
she was
things.
in Playboy when she was 10?
When she was 10, yeah.
Like,
Oh.
naked?
Yeah. Well, it covered up strategically, but no 10-year-old should ever be in Playboy.
I'm confused how that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, like that kind of stuff, I think it was so like disconnected from like the public mind that like little things here and there of people doing that stuff, maybe someone would have been like, huh, like questioned it for a second, but I don't think it was in the public mind enough for people to actually like broadly question it. Like if something comes out in a Playboy, I mean, you don't have the internet yet. It's like, how are people first of all going to like connect those dots to begin
Right,
with?
that's true.
It's
Nothing
like,
is
"Whoa, Did you
archived."
see this child in Playboy? Yeah, I got that same issue.
I don't know. There
I thought it
probably
was
are
weird.
people out there
Yeah.
that did do that, though.
Right.
And that's like the wild thing about it. So
Yeah.
now we've reached this new era of everything being archived, which is, as we're seeing, this like blessing and a curse, you know?
Right.
We're
Yeah,
seeing all these stacks kind of tumble to the ground.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there any other Chrissy Teigen stuff? Was that the?
I'm sure there's
Another one here. Here you go.
I mean, yeah, this one's kind of self-explanatory.
This is probably more recent then.
This was a little bit ago, but I mean,
I think this was her trying to do damage control again. Pretty much calling people crazy or stupid to
Okay.
displace any blame that she should have upon herself.
First
for
of all,
this.
how do you delete 60,000 tweets?
I'm not sure.
How do you do that? Do you have to like get in contact
Is
with
that a
Twitter?
thing?
I mean, you can delete tweets.
You can?
Yeah, you can go
Okay.
through, but it's super time consuming. I
Right,
don't know if
like
there's
just
any
one at a
way.
time?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any way to mass delete tweets, but if there is a way, I mean, she's paying somebody to find out to do it.
Right. for
Basically,
sure.
everything that was pedophilic, just go through and delete for me.
Like, even if they're deleted, though, Twitter owns the comment. They own that, and it's in their
A lot of
cached
these are
archives.
coming. A lot of these old ones are coming from people who, when they initially popped up, they were like,
Screenshot.
yeah, saving that shit."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but she deleted 60,000 tweets because I cannot stand you idiots anymore. I'm worried about my family. Finding me talking about toddlers and genre in 2013 and thinking you're some sort of fucking operative.
Yeah, that's one thing, but not a slide into a Shark Tank. I mean,
Or
Okay.
talking or comparing a toddler to a porn star.
Yeah.
Right. It's
I have one of these that actually talks about adrenochrome. I could have swore.
like with her, with Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah, she says something about, or maybe you sent that.
Oh, yeah. She said she was going to go eat a 4-year-old pizza.
Oh, this is another good one. You know, just normal things Chrissy Teigen should have been tweeting about. She's about to Anthony Weiner this kid.
Yeah.
What?
For anybody who doesn't know, Anthony Weiner was. Do you have more information on him?
I don't know exactly what he did. I just know his laptop made people throw up.
Yeah. Yeah. He was connected somehow to like the Clinton email thing,
Yeah,
the
all of-
WikiLeaks.
All of Pizzagate, pretty much.
The WikiLeaks
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, he was definitely complicit in it, depending on how you look through the code words, I suppose.
Right.
So,
Yeah, but this is, she's saying, I'm about to Anthony Weiner this kid. All right, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I now know what parents go through when they are forced to tie their kids up in the basement. You have to do it, but it's icky. Am I right?
Do you have to do it?
I never got tied up in the basement.
I mean, there was that
Like,
one time
hello?
where my cousins like tied me to the basement and then they like proceeded to leave me down there.
yeah, that's like a cousin initiation.
Yeah,
thing.
but like
That's
as a
not
little kid,
parent.
though.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
parent's
my
not doing
parents
that.
didn't do that shit.
Oh, okay,
No.
okay. There was one time when I was like hardcore acting up when I was a little kid. I remember this. So it must have been like a traumatic moment for me
Yeah.
because I was a very little kid. But I remember my mom handcuffing me to my bed frame because I kept like getting up out of bed when I was supposed to be going to sleep. And she like just handcuffed me to my bed frame while I was laying in bed.
I mean, it's effective.
Yeah. I mean,
How is
it
that
was
blood
like,
into your adult psyche?
right, yeah, I don't know.
Dare I
It was
ask?
like I don't think it was for a significant period of time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like all night or anything, but it was probably like a solid hour or something.
Enough to freak you out a little bit.
Yeah, but not like tied up in the basement. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just some interesting things.
Yeah. Oh, Grant, I know what tweet you're talking about. Chrissy Teigen talked about going to this restaurant in LA called Hollydale.
Yeah.
Which is known in LA. So I lived in LA for almost 7 years. So
Yeah.
kind of got integrated
I don't
into
think
that
I sent
scene.
it to you, Jordan. I don't think I made it.
She made a tweet about eating a 4-year-old cheese pizza and it being absolutely divine from Hollydale, a
That is-
restaurant that is known for
It
cannibalism.
was a
Okay.
4-year-old cheese pizza with adrenochrome toppings.
Yes, that was the
That was the
adrenochrome
wordings.
topping. Yeah.
okay. So, and that means the pizza is an actual like FBI like documented word that means
Little girl.
Little girl.
Yeah.
I think.
Like young, like a
Cheese
child
pizza.
in some
Yeah.
way.
Cheese pizza would be a little girl, I
Yeah.
think.
And then I think the hot dog one is
Little boy or something like that.
Because that's the one that like in the WikiLeaks emails, they were saying that like how Obama ordered like $65,000 worth of hot dogs to come to the White House or so, like
Yikes.
something like that. Like it was in the emails, and yeah, there was one other thing similar to that. I don't remember. I don't remember.
mean, that's enough to be pretty damning, though.
Right. Like, first of all, hot dogs cost like 30 cents a piece.
Yeah.
You're ordering $60,000. That's like in the email. Oh, I was going to say that a lot of that stuff, like WikiLeaks just did another whole dump of.
I haven't started
pretty
sifting
much
through it
everything.
aside from.
What's this WikiLeaks dump about? Have you gotten to it at all?
Everything. I looked at like 2 or 3 files in it, and most of it is like, there's so much. There's like thousands of files to go through. It's like it's emails, it's like released documents for the FBI. It's a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff. I haven't gone through it yet, but a lot of it covered the like the hot dog thing with Obama and that kind of stuff. So
Yikes. So I recant my earlier statement about Obama potentially being sexy pre-presidency.
yeah,
Feeling a little hot right now for saying that.
There's a little bit of darkness there.
yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. But yeah,
sure.
Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, obviously being linked to them, especially with that being linked is.
Yeah. So this is
Questionable.
the other one that you sent me with Chrissy Teigen, but I mean this was in the other one. Just saw a baby that looked like a porn star. Yeah, we already looked at that. Is that the final Chrissy Teigen
I
one?
think that was the last one.
I mean, there's literally 60,000 tweets out there, so it's not end all be all.
Right.
I mean,
It's just the ones that have popped up and I've remembered to save. Mm-hmm, oh, was
true.
this removed? This is
So-
that video of good segue into your
Yeah.
stuff. The video of Justin Bieber.
Yeah, do you want to explain this really quick?
Well, I think the TikTok actually explains it the whole time.
Okay.
If anybody's just tuning in, they can just watch because it has.
Go look at the TikTok. Or what?
Yeah, I mean, you can click on the TikTok.
yeah, go ahead
show
and
it
click on
there.
the TikTok.
Right here?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
TikTok.
already gone.
Video currently unavailable.
You know-
Really?
That's not surprising. But
It was
especially
like a week ago that I found
Okay,
it.
so just so we can explain what happened, because you explained it to me pretty well.
Yes, so it was a live stream of like Justin Bieber just like chilling on his balcony or whatever, and he was just doing a live stream of his face, and people were commenting and all this stuff, and someone created like a long text being like, "We love you," blah 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 blah, enough that it's like a text block that gets attention more than just a heart or something like that. And in it said, if you can confirm that Pizzagate was real, touch your nose. And then you can see, like, as he's like on the live stream, you can see the text, and then you can see his eyes like going across the video, and then he like looks up for a second and just like,
Yeah.
and then he goes and starts talking about like some random thing.
Okay.
And it was
Yeah.
just like a celebrity doing an odd, like, it could totally be
Yeah.
I
circumstance.
feel
Maybe he
like-
just had an itchy nose, but
I
it
feel
was
like
pretty damn
with
big.
Yummy just being released and some of the things that happened both in the video and for his promotion for it on Instagram. So Yummy was, of course, like Justin Bieber's big breakout song from his comeback. And there's a lot of speculation that it is a cry for people to look into this pedophilia, cannibalistic ring going on. And to promote the single, he posted all these pictures of babies with just the caption "yummy" underneath of it.
Okay.
And it was about 10 Instagram posts in a row. It was
Wow.
substantial. It wasn't just one. And the whole video for Yummy is centered around Justin eating around all these fabulous elite people. And then they get to the bottom of their dish and it's like a picture of Justin as a child.
Okay.
So yeah, it's it's a lot to take in. So
Wowza.
you telling me about, Justin Bieber doing this, like it didn't surprise people, I guess, that are like into following things like that and always know there's something just below the surface, going on.
Right. It makes me wonder how much of that is like them, like, because I know a lot of like large artists like that don't write their own music.
Absolutely.
So it makes me curious, especially like even like with Taylor Swift stuff or the Katy Perry stuff that we went through, like the people writing their music, are they the ones that are trying to like
Alert people.
alert people of something,
Yeah.
either that or twist the narrative on something?
I think a lot of it's producers and directors because you can hear
Okay.
these songs and they sound completely benevolent. Like a lot of people, when they heard Yummy, just thought it was a euphemism for him like eating his wife out, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
But then you look at the production and the direction of these videos, and they're not matching up to the lyrics that people
Okay.
are producing. There's the symbolism just isn't the same, and
Right.
it just doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
Britney Spears can release a song about wanting to go like hook up with a guy in a club, but her video is like her covered in like chains with TV screens all around
Yeah.
her. Like that
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the actual
Spicy.
intention of the song. This is for I think it's for If You Sink Amy, but you can find it in literally any of her music videos.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with the lyrics.
Right, for sure. I have noticed that there's a very big switch in like really mainstream music and the video that goes with the music. How much like the symbolism has changed from what it used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be very like super connected to what the lyrics are talking about and how most people are perceiving the
It
lyrics.
was a story. Yeah.
Right. Rather than this, like the same thing with the Katy Perry one, the Bon Appetit song,
Yeah.
like where she is you know, being prepared as a meal and all of this stuff. So it's like same thing as the Justin Bieber thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's really weird. I mean, he could have just made it a sexy video with Hailey Bieber and people would have loved the shit out of it. It would have gotten all the views. But I mean, it was very intentional to go down this route for him.
Right.
So I kind of love this trend of, you know, celebrities being able to say if there's something wrong with them over TikTok and all of that.
Yeah, me too.
Which is really neat.
Or it's all totally coincidental and none of this has any connection at all to each other. And we live in that 1 in 50 billion possibility where, you know,
could happen.
the things that they're doing don't actually align with any of the things that they're doing.
Right. Well, that goes into a little bit of like, because the Justin Bieber thing where he reads what the girl said and said, touch your nose if Pizzagate is real. And he touches his nose like in a like trying to
very
act,
nonchalant kind of
like casual way.
Because we know these people are watched.
Right. But that goes into like the Britney Spears thing that you were talking about. I remember you telling me about.
I only heard about it from her.
Yeah. Well, I'm all about the Free Britney movement. So
Which I didn't even know was a movement.
yeah, it's been a movement since 2007, 2008, since her very public breakdown where she shaved her head, you know, she bashed car windows out with umbrellas and all of that. So after that, her dad kind of took over her mental well-being and she went into conservatorship. So pretty much all of her rights were struck from her. She can't vote. She has zero control of any of her funds or anything like that. So people are seeing that she's fully capable of working. People are put under this conservatorship. They're 5150. They're not mentally capable of taking care of themselves. But she's released 4 albums in this time. She's gone on world tours. She's been arguably like the most productive she's been in her entire career.
Right.
So why is she still being handled by her father, and at that original point, a judge as well? So in the last year, the judge has resigned and stepped down, so it's raised even more red flags. So her fans are seeing all of this happen because, I mean, 2007 was 13 years ago. So they're asking her to, you know, wear her next favorite yellow top in her video if she needs help or if she can't escape her situation. And sure enough, a yellow top, like, I mean, yellow's not a super common color just to wear on a whim, especially for film. So it was weird. And it happened a few other times.
Yeah, I
Like
saw
wearing your
one other one
yeah.
where it was like, wear black if you need help. And then the next video, she was in all black.
And it's very obvious. She'll come into frame, she'll show off her shirt, and then walk out of frame. It's not like she's making a post about her new world tour coming up or anything. It's very much a call to look at the shirt that she's
like it's
wearing.
like, hey, I'm wearing the color.
Exactly.
And you back out. Yeah. So I wonder, man, that's so weird because the whole I've dug into the like Hollywood stuff a little bit, and it just freaks me out more than anything because I've seen a lot of like how they operate there and how it's all like very much so based on like handlers and there's people that like are basically like in charge of keeping the celebrity in line where it's like, hey, like there's this like authority figure to them and probably are very afraid of them for reasons.
Right.
And so anytime that they try and like use their fame to speak out in a certain direction or try and change like public narrative in a way that would be like not in line with the intentions of bad people in power, quote unquote, I guess, that they get in serious trouble for that. And there's lots of issues. And so just looking into that, it creeps me out so much. Like I almost don't even want to know the depths of it because it's like
it's pretty freaky and obviously, well, not so obviously, but a lot of this, especially with Britney Spears handlers and, you know, Amanda Bynes, all these.
I forgot about Amanda Bynes. She was bonkers too.
Yeah. So funny enough, the same hospital that has had Kanye West committed by the Kardashians, Amanda Bynes, Misha Barton, Britney Spears, they all get 5150 and go to the UCLA Reagan Center. They all go to the same hospital. And anytime they start to act up or their programming wears off, they get recommitted and go back, and it's under the guise of, you know, rehab usually.
Okay.
Or exhaustion.
Right.
But it was very odd because when, you know, Kanye went back, he lost a whole bunch of his memories.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember that. It was about a year or two ago, right when he first got onto the Trump MAGA train.
Okay. I remember for a minute there that Kanye at a lot of his concerts, like he would just stop the concert for like 20 minutes and just go on a rant about like the Illuminati and how everybody was like being controlled and all of this stuff. Like literally stadiums with like however many, like Madison Square Garden size stadiums.
Yeah.
Like just stopping the concert, just saying like, you all need to wake the fuck up. Like this is like the Illuminati is real. Like these people are controlling your
I
minds.
feel so bad for him because he's like tried to tell people for so long, and then he just gets dismissed as being bipolar or crazy, which, don't get me wrong, he does go through manic and depressive stages. That's very, very, very characteristic of being bipolar, and it's a very real problem.
Right.
But when you're being sent by the Kardashians against your will to psychiatric wards, and you're forgetting your memories, and you're comparing that place to the sunken place in movies like Get Out, it's a cry for help that we should probably be looking into a little bit.
For sure.
I'm starting to get on that wagon that the Kardashians are all witches.
I was wondering if
you saw the this like kind of like goes off that. You saw the Joe Rogan comedy special, right?
About what?
I think it was 1 or 2 comedy specials ago that's on Netflix, where at the very end of his comedy special, he literally pretends to be a Kardashian, like as a demon, as a demonic figure, and he's going and like talking to who's the one that went transgender?
Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner. Like, so basically what he said, he's like, maybe if you're surrounded by crazy bitches forever, you turn into one, right? So and then like it was part of the comedy sketch. I don't want to.
We don't share those views.
Yeah. It's very specific, but literally the entire time he's pretending he gets up on his chair, like with his like feet up on the chair, and just goes like, Bruce, you want to be one of us, don't you, Bruce? Like he's pretending to be a Kardashian in like a super demonic voice.
They do have a really bad string of men.
Yeah,
I feel like the Kardashian curse is so real. Like Lamar Odom almost died in a brothel. I mean, everything that's happening to Kanye. Scott Disick got 5150 for a little bit too. Yeah, it's like every man that comes into their lives just kind of falls apart at some point. Like all of their energy got like vamp sucked out of them by these crazy
almost
witches.
Like it's like there's these guys that are basically like somehow getting connected with the Kardashians, and then kind of like maybe being enticed by the fame or the power or their beauty or something. And as they try and get into the circle, the Kardashian circle, they start seeing weird stuff and they don't know what's going on.
Oh crap, I'm a sacrifice for these succubi.
Or something's happening. Something really fucked up is happening, and then they all end up having to get sent to
there's
some traumatic shit.
Repress the memories.
There's that Kanye stuff out that's talking about how he's just trying to like save his kids from the Kardashians, basically.
I can't blame him. Yeah. I mean, I'd be very concerned for those children too.
Is that something that you have in a link here or what?
I don't think I sent it. No.
I think I have it in the Kanye article, actually. So Kanye went to South Carolina for his big rally for presidency. It should be in the first one. Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah,
okay.
And he exposed all these truths about the Kardashians, how, he was begging for North to be born, essentially. So he was becoming really, really scared of them. And, I mean, he broke down at a presidential rally, which I don't think we've ever seen before, and just tried to have another, calling out for people to take him seriously. So
that's so bizarre.
Yeah, it's really just sad.
God, that'd be like a nightmare.
Just want to hug him.
Okay, so this is in a now deleted Twitter rant. Kanye said that the Kardashians were trying to lock him up with doctors and that he's been trying to get a divorce for years. Furthermore, several tweets allude to Hollywood's darkest secret, MK Ultra. And for anybody listening who doesn't know about MK Ultra, we can definitely go into that.
I will definitely go into it right after we get through this Kanye.
Yeah, we don't have to read this whole article.
No, not at all.
For sure. Yeah, that's a...
They handcuff you, they drug you, they put you on a bed, and they separate you from everyone you know. When you're in this state, you're hyper paranoid about everything, everyone. This is my experience. Other people have different experiences. Everyone is now an actor. Everything's a conspiracy. You feel the government is putting chips in your head. You feel like you're being recorded. You feel all of these things.
Goddamn.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So MK Ultra was an operative that was developed in the 50s and 60s that pretty much goes into breaking a patient down through trauma and then through disassociation and implementing like a new personality into the person.
And these are documents that have been released.
Yeah,
at this
these
point.
are CIA declassified
You can
documents.
find them on CIA.gov.
They're on the resources too.
Yeah. A majority of that stuff, a lot of the release stuff, I believe, are very connected to the things that were happening in the 60s and the 70s, I think.
Right. So it was all through like Nazi Germany and kind of like, fighting that battle. So a lot of this was kept in mind to create these assassins, these Delta programmed assassins. So depending on what wavelength you're wanting, there's alpha, beta, delta, and theta. Your deltas are going to be your assassins that, when they get caught, they will, commit suicide, self-implode pretty much. Alpha is like your alpha brain that y'all talk about. It's pretty much connecting all the neural synapses between your left and right hemispheres. So it's good for like co-op missions where you want like photographic memory to bring in information. There's beta programming, which is rumored that, Katy Perry, Britney Spears, a lot of these female celebrities are a part of.
That's the one that's like the symbology for it is like the kitten.
Yeah,
right?
so this kitten
it's like
personality comes out.
The sexualization, like the sex kitten thing.
Yeah, which like all of the like female superstars are doing.
And bunnies too. Bunnies are a big
too.
one for beta because like Alice in Wonderland as a whole, and the imagery behind it is a big trigger for a lot of betas.
Okay.
And then theta is all of like your psychics and getting, and a lot of like the elites are doing, programming to get to that level, which is even crazier.
Right. I think my understanding of how the MK Ultra thing works is because I watched a lot with a lot of interviews with Kathy O'Brien. She's like one, I don't remember when she came out. I think it's like in the early 80s, I believe. But she, there was a FBI agent who basically saved her from a handler who was controlling her, like because she was programmed from the time that she was a little kid through trauma and whatnot. And he pulled her and then like took her through this deprogramming program that took a very long time to get them like out of their out of their program. So it's like a psychological box that you are put into, and then there's like little sections that you can
compartmentalize.
There's these compartmentalizations in your brain that happen when trauma happens, and there's like specific trigger words or visuals or pictures or things that can happen that will send them into those compartmentalizations. So for someone to control you, basically it's like you're pre-compartmentalized, like you're traumatized, and then your brain creates these compartments. And then there's this very sophisticated way of how like your handlers or the people that are in control of you can say, okay, now I want you to be this person or this type of person, and they can send you those triggers and you go into those.
Yeah, it can be
those
words,
personalities.
It could be hand signals. There's all sorts of different ones. So when you go through a deprogramming situation like that, it's really dangerous, one, for the patient, because so many of these people, they'll start to try to break out of those boxes, all those compartments around the age of 30 is when they start to break down. And that's when you see all this crazy maniacal behavior kind of come out. That's when Britney started crashing car windows with, umbrellas. That's when Amanda Bynes went and did her crazy stuff too. It's all around age 30 that the programming starts to shatter a little bit. So the whole deprogramming situation is very, very tough.
Right.
I mean, they're on suicide watch 100% of the time they're going through it.
A lot of them do commit suicide.
Yeah.
That's probably a very large part of it, like Hollywood suicides and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was like age 27, I think, is the number one time.
The 27 Club. That makes sense.
For sure. And that's such a weird thing how there's so many documents about how this stuff is done, and like nobody really like questions what they're seeing when they're watching somebody in Hollywood. Because I've seen a lot of videos of Britney Spears actually like acting real weird.
Oh yeah, she'll go into like weird British accents, like completely go into different personas. It's really,
I have not seen any of that.
It's really crazy. She'll glitch out.
Yeah, and there's one where I believe she was like in a hotel room after a show or something eating French fries, and she was talking about like time. Like if time was an illusion, or like talking about dimensions and like crazy stuff. like super crazy things that you never would expect her to
Right.
to be talking about.
That's not on brand Britney.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. It's like, so what's going on there?
Yeah.
What's going on in Hollywood right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. And the fact that, Disney got a hold of her from such an early age is huge too. There are tons of rumors about what goes on with Disney and all those underground tunnels. Yes, the park is really clean, but it's kind of creepy that Disney has a bunch of underground tunnels, and they've kind of created this blueprint of this woman who, creates all these small child female fans from a very early age, and then they go into this hypersexualization period.
Yeah.
So
it's been repeated with all of them.
Selena Gomez. I mean, the list goes on and on. Hannah Montana.
Yeah, that one was.
that was
one's
pretty
kind of
crazy.
bonkers.
Yeah, but they all go through this. So all these little girls are watching this, thinking this is a normal process to
Yeah.
grow up. So we go through this age of innocence, and then we turn bad when we're teenagers,
right.
and we want sex,
Yeah,
and
you
we
get
want
this-
all this,
Yeah, and
and
it's
we
this
need to
very-
be that woman.
There's that's who we were talking about earlier, Freeman TV. He talks a lot about how there's a lot of symbolism in movies and TV and stuff that basically is like a low level programming. Like it's like it's without the actual like physical trauma or anything, but
it's mass programming.
through movies, through children's shows, through all these things, they're all very emotionally driven, and the content and the like archetype of what's happening in those shows is creating pathways in kids' brains.
Absolutely.
It's creating emotional connections that that get a specific result as they grow older. Like we were talking about earlier about like a lot of the Disney shows where like a parent is dying,
Yeah.
or a parent died or is
Yeah.
dead.
Every movie starts out with that.
Right.
with
It's
Disney.
like a very intense trauma that happens right away. And the thing is about our brain, like it's very hard for our brain internally to determine like if you're watching somebody do something versus doing something yourself, the same pathways in your brain are firing as if you're watching someone do it or if you're actually doing it,
That's
like physically.
spicy.
So if you are watching somebody go through the process of them like, oh, their mom just died. I remember this from Land Before Time.
Oh yeah, that
the,
one.
the dinosaur movie.
That one, right?
I remember watching it multiple times, and what's the dinosaur's name?
Big
Littlefoot.
Littlefoot. So Littlefoot's mom dying, and like him like carrying the star leaf or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Like that shit is ingrained in me about how sad
Yeah,
that
that still makes me feel sad.
how
Yeah.
sad that stuff made me.
Yeah.
Like I remember very specifically when I was a little kid sitting in my grandparents' bedroom watching the TV, watching this happen, and just feeling absolute horror
Yeah.
at the thought of a mother dying.
Yeah.
And it was almost as if my mom was dying. Like
Little traumatizing breaks.
just little traumatizing things that are pushing you in a specific direction. It's so obvious in everything now.
Yeah, it has become really obvious, but I don't think people are seeing the patterns like we do quite yet.
Yeah,
I think it's getting there, but I mean, Mufasa and Lion King, Bambi's mom, it's
Yeah.
just, it's ongoing. It's every single one. Nemo and his dad, and that
Little
all
Mermaid
turned.
lost her mom.
Yeah, exactly. There are no like two parent systems in
Yeah.
any Disney movie.
There's always some sort of fractured family.
Yeah.
And that can be
Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Are you making some pattern connections?
I only understand this in like the conspiracy thing, but realistically, like thinking of it, well, Mulan has both of her parents, but only because she did something very brave.
Yeah, and they also completely destroy her identity.
That's true.
And don't accept her identity.
That's true. I'm trying to
Also
remember.
traumatizing.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and it's the same thing on the like.
This shit's for children. What other reason is there? I'm just getting confused now.
Yeah.
Like trying to survive in like just the conspiracy world's kind of freaking me out right now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it makes you question your own, I guess, roots. You know, it makes you
Yeah.
question like how much of that resides in me. How many of the emotional things that I go through on a daily basis are a result of like the things that I've been watching or seeing.
Yeah, all associations that
Yeah.
aren't even yourself.
Right.
It's all
How-
nature versus nurture.
How I interact with family or friends, how I treat like romantic love, how I treat like many things that we get emotional reactions from in our life, where it's like, like we have to start questioning that stuff.
Yeah.
We have to start saying like maybe like this very dark and suffering world that we live in right now isn't necessarily objective reality. Like it's
Absolutely.
it's been formed and created in some way. Like life isn't supposed to be so insanely
Sad and terrifying all the
right
time.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be tragic things that happen in your
course,
life.
yeah.
Like that's a part of life. For it to be such a like pervasive thing in the daily life of so many people, you know, and all based on relationships, all based on how they interact. It's not even necessarily based on the material world.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how much of that is due to just like trauma that's been, you know, pushed on people through like cyclical generational trauma that happened to their parents, that then that comes through.
Yeah.
And then there's also the stuff that's just sitting like right in your TV screen. There's
Yeah.
when you're a kid, like
The world's after you.
yeah, the world is after you right now.
You're like forced into the situation. Like, oh, all the kids are coming over. I'll put on Hercules and make them some chicken nuggets. And
Yeah. Yeah. I think the Hercules one though, like I don't know about that show or that movie, because I have like there's a connection in my heart to that movie for some reason.
Yeah, me too.
Like I feel like that was one of the few movies that had like the proper archetypal like plot line.
Yeah.
You know, where there was actually some level of like positive movement, because there's a lot of like inspirational
Yeah, and there's
feels that I get from that.
yeah,
at
and there's a
least.
strong female figure in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. That and I mean Greek mythology. So
Right.
I mean, of course we're
Yeah.
gonna love
and
it.
Greek mythology goes
For sure.
so far
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably couldn't fuck it up too hard unless
Yeah.
they wanted to completely change the story.
that's true.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we also like kind of talked about Monsters Inc. a little bit today.
Yeah,
and
that
I-
one pissed me off. I didn't even think
yeah.
about it.
Sorry
Yeah.
guys, I like totally rocked
Okay,
your world
so
today.
The conversation started with that I didn't know that in the Johnny Depp like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, they talk about adrenochrome, and I've always just kind of like held adrenochrome as like it's this somewhat fictional thing, and I'm not really sure what to do with it.
Not
so
much hard evidence.
I'll just keep it in my radar, and whenever it pops up, I'll be like, I know what that is. That's fucking weird. But they talk about in that movie.
yeah.
And the movie just continues on.
Yeah.
And then you brought up the Monsters Inc. thing, and it's like, that's exactly what adrenochrome
So,
is.
yeah, so I made the connection that, you know, Monsters Inc. is pretty much them harvesting children's adrenochrome.
Yeah.
They're going in and making these kids super, super fearful and then taking that liquid fear.
Yeah.
Like, that is
And then
what
that's literally
adrenochrome is.
Ding.
Yikes.
Yeah. Light bulb.
Yeah, and I freaking love that movie. It is so cute.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really good. It's like man, they're good at what they do. They're good at storytelling, but they're very good at
They're sneaky.
at sneakily manipulating things. And, well, there's an entire. I mean, this also goes back into like the early '60s time period where the like Disney and the CIA are very tightly connected to
Of
each
course,
other.
yeah.
And there's a lot of evidence. I don't know if there's actual like documents. I haven't seen it myself, but I've heard whispers of there being documents that Disney and the CIA specifically work together to run psychological operations on the population
They do.
through their content. Like that's an
Yeah.
actual CIA thing.
Yeah, I have seen
fully
those
believe that.
documents. Actually, I can get those
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. They had a full budget and everything
Mm-hmm.
to go into mass programming and ways to program children through
That's
these.
insane.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
So when people are like, "Oh, this isn't real," you know, it's all coincidence. I'm like, this is a long coincidence that's been happening.
Right,
Like,
exactly. And the further you go, the more solid evidence you get. Like,
Yeah.
if you just hear it, like you just hear, like I said, whispers of it, it's kind of like what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's easy
Like,
to be dismissive.
It's kind of
Yeah.
weird. It's so like the thing is though, like the truth is honestly stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
Like the truth of what the reality is that we live in is so much further beyond insane than what we thought
Yeah.
it really was.
Or everything is a crazy coincidence and I don't understand how the universe functions at all.
All right, devil's advocate. Sorry, he has his security blanket on today for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah. But it's crazy. It's crazy once you start digging into this stuff. And I don't know, like anybody who does watch this, if this is the first time that you're hearing this kind of stuff, it can be a little.
It sounds like absolute crazy conspiracy
horse shit.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Until you start seeing like, oh, dozens of celebrities have talked about it all across like time, and the government has the breakdown of what the molecule looks like.
Yeah.
And, oh, look, all of these government people who were a part of the pedophilia ring are also involved with all the Hollywood. And then it's like, it just
like how can you like at this point it's like even if 0.1% of the shit that we're talking about or that has come out is true, that's still ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's still-
it still shouldn't be true. It shouldn't be a thing at all.
Even
It
if
should
you
be the
can throw
simplest
out
thing.
99% of it.
which would be very difficult to do because most of it is them fucking up and it being in like hard copy. Oh, look, it's a picture of what they said.
Yeah. Well, and when all this stuff is coming out and they're all CIA declassified documents, that's the thing. Like mind control is a very real thing.
Yeah.
Like kids, mostly females, because they have a higher threshold of pain and are easier to dissociate, get thrown in there. And it's trauma that, we're exposed to every day, everything from like spinning and roller coaster rides. Like there's so many different ways to disassociate from your body.
God
I mean,
damn it, you're telling me roller coasters are disassociating me? I love roller coasters.
Disassociation isn't always a bad thing. I guess I should go into that too. It's a huge point in transcendental meditation and getting your mind to that clear spot where you can really kind of go into a flow.
Yeah.
But when you have malicious people that are using that clear, precious sacred space, usually, in your third eye, your pineal gland, and, reprogramming and compartmentalizing it and building all these tiny rooms where they can do their bidding.
Yeah.
It's just another attack on our children. And a lot of the trauma is pedophilia and, doing satanic rituals and, making them do horrible things like kill other children.
Yeah.
Just to get them to that disassociated place. Like, this isn't just like electroshock therapy. This isn't just saying like, you don't have parents, I am your handler, you have no place to go if you don't listen to me. This goes way beyond that to psychological manipulation and trauma.
Yeah, no, that's I can bring that back actually a little bit further. We talked about this a little bit on the past podcast, but Project Paperclip. Okay, when a lot of the Nazi scientists came over, one of the biggest areas of study for Nazi Germany was eugenics, like psychological manipulation. There was an entire scientific division of people in Nazi Germany that specifically were trying to figure out how to mind control people, like working in the depths of psychology and doing mass amounts of experimentation using psychedelic drugs, using trauma, using a whole bunch of different stuff, which is the same thing that MK Ultra was.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that all moved over here from after World War II in Nazi Germany. Like that was all of those scientists came over here and started
Dr.
becoming
John
a part of
Magelli,
it.
like everybody, they had to flee, and they came and worked for us.
Yeah, yeah. That's like it's a very, like I said, that you can trace it all back.
Yeah.
You can trace it all back, like where it came from. Like the entire MK Ultra project is, you can find masses of information on what was happening there.
Yeah, Dr. John Magelli they called him the Doctor of Death. Dr. Green was how he was classified in all of the documents. And he was known for doing all of the experimentation on twin subjects.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard about this.
So they would, have different trauma sets between the two different twins and use different variables because that's a built-in variable. So that's one of the many doctors that came over and kept working from Nazi Germany. So
Okay. Yeah. So what he was trying to do was basically saying, hey, we have two nearly identical people with very similar experiences. We pull them in, we do all these crazy experiments, traumatize the shit out of both of them in different ways, see the different results, document the results, and then start creating a program of like, okay, we traumatize in this way, and this way, and that creates a compartment here, and then we can do this to access that compartment, and then we can do all these things.
Yeah. So they would train like one twin with a beta brain and the other with like a delta brain to become an assassin, and try to figure out different ways to get those different outcomes between twin children.
Yeah.
So
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's so fucked up.
Reality is so much more interesting than fiction.
Yeah. Very.
You're talking to the unicorn here, so I don't know.
True that.
Yeah, it's insane. How do we? And then you can extrapolate from that and say, okay, all of these people that are working in Hollywood, all of these people that are creating all of our entertainment, and all of the people that, you know, create children's shows, all of the things for us to consume as people, like where we're watching these things that people who understand these ideas are putting out. It's like, well, what do you think is going to happen? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that like if they have this knowledge of like how to like psychologically manipulate people through like emotional triggers and through things, that they're not going to do that?
Exactly.
They're just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun little party trick.
Yeah.
Mind control.
And be like, and watch what I can do. Boop. And then all the children just start like dancing.
Like Britney Spears.
right, exactly. It's like, it's just a party trick.
That might have been closer to the truth than I intended it
Actually,
to be.
I mean, TikTok.
Yeah. True. That's true. That's super true.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how much it's become normalized and people just like allow it to happen. But
Right.
it's like, what's the alternative? How do we even stop this when we don't know who the wolf is? And I said that before the last time that I came on the show. We know like Disney's a part of it clearly. But no parent's going to be like, oh, kid, you can't watch Disney.
Right,
So it's all
exactly.
like a pivotal part of our childhood. So
Yeah. For better or worse.
yeah, for better or worse.
But at this point, it's like there's no really escaping it.
Is the programming, you think, worse now than when we grew up with it?
Absolutely. It's gotten a lot more blatant, I
Yeah.
think. Like all the Masonic imagery, all the Wizard of Oz imagery, and, you know, Alice in Wonderland, all of that.
It might have something to do with how prevalent phones and screens are now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Well,
Constantly absorbing content and
I mean,
post to
for sure.
Usually, like, we watched music videos on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So parents usually knew what we were watching and
Yeah.
could monitor it a little bit better. But now that everything is,
Now it's right in their hand.
bite size and you can watch it anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's enough. I don't think there will ever be any parental
Level of
enforcement
control
that
over
could, combat that. It's like
For sure.
fighting a giant.
Yeah, definitely.
So-
At this point, I think that it's going to be up to the users. Like, as the kids continue to use internet and as they continue to look at things. I mean, let's say as long as like the internet freedom and censorship slows the fuck down in some way.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, like that's number one.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
That's a very large can of worms.
Yeah.
But the information is still out there. So, I mean, you got a lot of kids that are coming in that are very intelligent. And I mean, we can go on the spiritual path a little bit, but they're like coming here with more consciousness than previous generations, let's
Definitely
say.
more awareness. I agree.
Yeah. And they may fall prey to those things for a while, but I feel like if you grow up in that, there's going to be a significant amount of people or kids that are kids now that are able to follow the paths out and figure out what's going on and, become a little bit more aware. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like in the same way the internet is a great tool, it's a great tool. It's a positive and negative tool.
Absolutely.
It's like neither good or bad. It's just,
I mean, it's just like every other religion or way of thinking. There's truths and there's evils to everything, and it's it's up to the human to figure it out. It's probably our biggest job.
it's up to the user.
Yeah, on this life.
Yeah, and that's partially what we're trying to do here is like do something that gets people to, because we're not really under the impression that like what we're talking about is 100% set in stone, everything, no matter what. It's like,
No, we're not.
There's always a debate here.
Yeah. Right.
There's always like, hey, like bring new information. I'm just curious. These are just really interesting things to talk about and probably should be looked into further.
Yeah.
Like
I think the most compelling part about all of this stuff is that people love to not look at it. Like
Yeah.
when it comes up, they're
Yeah.
immediately like, nope, get that out of my face. I don't need any of your
Yeah.
conspiracy stuff. But when in reality, it's like, well, if everybody looked at this stuff, then it wouldn't be a conspiracy,
Yeah.
and we would do something about it.
And-
Right.
yeah.
Because there's too much evidence on the
Yeah.
table to just kind of be like, oh no, it doesn't exist.
And I will give credit where credit is due. Like in the last couple of weeks, our news feeds have changed tremendously with the amount
Yeah.
of pedophile links and different eye-opening posts that have been made. Things that have just brought out how Chris Pennington died, how all these artists are going under the table, unfortunately, because they try to speak out about
Yeah.
it. People are finally connecting the dots now.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is amazing. And I also have to give a shout out to Vigilant Citizen, who supplied a lot of the sources and does an excellent job of declassifying CIA files for us. They're always really good, solid resources as well.
Vigilant Citizen is a good one.
Yeah, for sure. And the last thing that I was going to say is that's a really good connection that you just made with me, like watching the news feed change, because it's almost like there's still like little sprinkles of coronavirus and Black Lives Matter, like here and there,
yeah.
that I'm seeing,
For
like
sure.
just little sprinkles.
There will be.
But the
Yeah.
one pervasive thing that I'm seeing on my news feed all of the time is like, hey, there's pedophiles
Yes,
running
sex
the world right
trafficking
now.
is real.
It's-
Human trafficking is here in the U.S.
Yeah.
People are
Become-
waking up to that.
Become
Yeah.
a very memeable thing. Have you guys seen the one where the 2021 Golden Globes happens and Chris Hannity walks out on the stage and everybody in the stands gets like really quiet and he's like, don't try to leave, everybody. Like Chris Hannity, you know what I'm talking about, the pedophile guy. He walks in and then the people are caught.
No, I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
it's
that
a
one up.
meme. It's a good meme, guys.
Okay. You have to send it to me if you see it or
Yeah.
find it.
All
I just
memes.
I don't know who that guy is specifically.
He's.
So.
Do you know who that guy is? The Dateline guy. He walks in and he's like,
Oh, I know who you're talking
"Take a
about
seat."
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
"No, nothing." Oh, damn.
No.
All right. Well,
No. It's all right. References.
Swing and a miss.
It's references. Whatever.
Can't get
Yeah.
them all.
Right.
Keep swinging.
Yeah. Is there anything else like in these things that we should go into right now? Because I'm feeling like like we're rolling off a little bit.
Throw that singer tomorrow thing.
Singer Tomorrow
I don't
Braxton.
know who this person is, but this popped up.
Okay.
Singer Tamara Braxton posted this on her Twitter before
It's
being
Tony
hi-
Braxton's sister, I believe.
before
Okay.
being hospitalized for a suicide attempt overdose. I am a slave. I do not own my own life, my stories, my pictures, my thoughts or beliefs. I've asked my master to free me. I'm threatened and punished for it. The only way I see out is death. I will choose that before I continue to love like this. Please help me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
which, maybe all celebrities just kind of crack up in a similar way, or maybe they're...
But also, that's not true, though, because we see celebrities. I mean, Betty White is a national treasure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
How is she immune to all of this?
I don't know. She's
See,
part God, angel.
yeah. I don't know. I think
I
there is.
would be heartbroken if Betty White was in on this.
Oh,
This
man.
is we talked about this a little bit before. I think it was last time that you were on. Like, I feel like the celebrity thing is very much so a very deep and intricate web of people that are living in this higher level of society and fame and money and stuff. But I think there might be little specks and pockets,
Of goodness.
of goodness in people that have figured out how to like exist in that world
Without succumbing to
without
it.
participating or being controlled in some way. But I think that it's like a very small portion of people, and they might still have like things that they have to do. Otherwise, they might have some people come for them.
I mean, they definitely know about some of this, I think. So,
Yeah.
in the very least, they have to keep their mouth shut.
Right.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, which is huge that happened, was Blake Lively's whole coming out
Okay.
about her children and wanting to protect them because she entered the industry very young as well.
Okay.
So Blake Lively got her start in, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and then went on to be a star in Gossip Girl. Now she's married to Ryan Reynolds. They have a beautiful family, yada
Okay,
yada.
I've heard of her.
Okay.
Yeah, she's stunning. I mean, great woman, but I just thought it was a very odd time for her to come out about all of this, and it made me wonder if she saw a lot of it but didn't want to be culpable for putting the blame on herself, and instead waited until she became a mother to say something about it.
Yeah.
because I know she ran around. I met her, I've hung out with her before. She's hung around Weinstein. She's definitely seen some stuff. So it was just very interesting to see all these new celebrities coming out, but not saying that they've seen anything, but saying just in case they don't want their kids to see something. You know, it's very circumventing like anything actually seen or done, but a very safe way to do it. So I'm hoping we'll see more of that happening, more parents that are celebrities that are speaking out and trying to do something about this.
For sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I've seen like countless amounts of celebrities in this world or in this zone doing stuff that like coming out about things. Because there was that one guy that got, quote, suicided. I remember the curly hair guy.
The guy that came out with like the
Tom
videos.
Hanks guy.
Talking about he was talking about Tom Hanks.
Cappy.
Yeah, I forget exactly what his name is, but he came out and
Isaac Cappy was his name.
Like it makes me curious why some people are getting suicided, quote unquote, because he came out and specifically said that he wasn't suicidal and then supposedly committed suicide. But it makes me curious, like, what was he doing that was more that was going too far to the point that they choose to get rid of him versus somebody like Elijah Wood, right?
Where he can just like casually be like, pedophilia is very real. We have all known about it for a long time.
Okay, maybe it's the naming names part.
I think it's the naming names part.
I think so too.
For sure.
Like, as long as you're talking about it in general, you're not implying it's one way or the other.
Right, you're not implicating anybody specifically.
But Isaac was coming out with, if that's his name, he was coming out and naming like all of the names that you don't want to hear, like Tom Hanks, John Legend, and people that you're like, no, not James Franco. Fuck. I love that guy.
Those dimples, no.
But fuck, if he fucks kids, I gotta beat him up now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Much. Yeah, but, so I'm hoping more advocates is what we're going to see in higher positions, and that's about the most hopeful we can be, I think, in this situation. That, you know, there's going to be more Maxwells that get outed, and that's been really quiet over the last week. I feel like
just like Maxwell stuff.
Like,
it's just kind of fading into the background.
Away with Wayfair a little bit. Like, I really feel like she might have leaked Wayfair intentionally. Just to get her name out of the press just for a second.
To have some like shut up stuff go on. I'm curious about that. I had another thought that was kind of connected to this whole celebrity thing, high society thing. Like think about YouTube, like YouTube stars, right? How like somebody that we watch regularly is Markiplier. Like he plays video games and does silly things with his friends, whatever. He's like a YouTube personality. He's got going on 30 million subscribers right now, which is significantly larger than a majority of like mainstream celebrities have. Like significantly larger. So I'm trying to figure out like how are like when you have like the internet and something where everyday people can go on and then all of a sudden create this following of just massive amounts of people, like what do you, it's almost like YouTube fame is so significantly withdrawn from mainstream celebrity fame.
It's like new money.
Right. It's really weird. There's this like a distinct difference between people that are YouTube famous and then people that are like if you ran into a YouTube star, you'd be like, oh shit, damn. Unless you're like a fanatical person, you know, it'd be like, oh damn. But like a majority of YouTube people can just walk down the street and like live a normal life in some way.
I mean, Markiplier could have walked right past me, like what, 9 months ago, and I wouldn't have known who he was.
Yeah, somebody with 30 million subscribers, right? But like that disconnection, there's this cult aspect of Hollywood that has turned like fame itself into this like weird,
a niche that they control who can walk into.
Right.
It's almost like a fraternity now. And like there are initiates and things you must do to get into that club. And I think more people are seeing that. And if you're not willing to get in the club, you're definitely going to see some stuff at some point.
for sure.
So yeah, that's kind of the way I see it. Like YouTube celebrities don't have to do anything
be there.
crazy, or
Not yet.
even like the trauma of going to auditions is sometimes super humiliating. And I know you can vouch
that's
for me
just
on
a-
that.
Yeah.
Consistently being said no.
Yeah, consistent debasement. And I mean, it's just another form of like low key trauma, but just kind of like normalizing it and priming you for it. And celebrities have that. YouTube people don't.
No.
Like
Right.
the most they get that's in the comments. They're like, yeah, your stuff sucks. And then
Yeah,
it's just
whatever.
mute. Yeah, it's very easy
Yeah.
to block it.
There's just this like just deep internal like authority pyramid. It's like this hierarchy like within the Hollywood system that is so based on like pure power, really. Like whoever's calling the shots, whoever's doing the thing where it's like that person is God.
Yeah.
You know, like the hierarchy isn't a well functioning based on competence, you know, type of hierarchy. It's a
Right.
very tyrannical authoritarian type of hierarchy where it's like hierarchy. I'm sorry, I'm a stutterer. It happens. But it's interesting.
Yeah, it is really
Interesting
interesting.
world.
I'm kind of excited to see who else falls. So
Yeah,
like the sadist
yeah.
in me is just like
Right.
evil unicorn
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. Who
This
else?
is the evil unicorn laugh.
Who else is going to jail? But hey, we are currently at 1 hour and 5 minutes. That flew by.
Perfect,
That flew
yeah.
by pretty fast.
Had a lot to talk about.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Honestly, we could talk about that like forever.
Yeah.
We can do more. We can do more
Yeah.
on this subject.
Yeah,
and
leave some
keep
notes in the
going.
comments.
Lizzie B will be back.
Yeah, indeed. But it was fun, and we will see you all in the next video.
Bye bye.
Peace.